Also wanted to know, a lot has changed throughout the years while you all have been acting and stuff like that, where now you're competing with social media stars, where I feel like people, cast them because they have a big following and they feel like their following is going to watch the show or movie. So how do you all compete with that? Or do you feel like you have to?
I don't think you look at it that way, I think we all approach it like we have an incredible story through the gift of Jamie and what he's written, and we just, as authentically and as enthusiastically as we can, we bring our excellence and we put it out there in the world. And I feel like when you do that, the audience finds you. And if we just don't focus, that's like minutia that you can get caught up in and distracted by. It is what it is. Social media people, they're here to stay. As much as, we thought that it was going to be a 5 minutes of fame type thing, it's not going anywhere. So we're artists, we're not social media icons or stars. We're artists, we're actors, we love stories, we love storytelling, and I think our audience will resonate with that and keep coming back the way that they have for all of our careers.
And I watched the trailer for the show. It is juicy. Juicy. Give me a little details now. I'm so excited for it to come on TV.
Thank you. Jamie, you want to give her some crumbs?
It is that old school guilty pleasure soap opera with a modern twist. We've seen a lot of these types of nighttime soaps over the years, but usually the black characters were the side characters or the tokens. But I wanted to do a show, and Will Packard wanted to do a show about black women in Atlanta and the lives that they share with their men and their careers and their rivalries. And that was kind of the whole genesis of the idea. We wanted to do a show that had 4 very different types of women that you could see yourselves in. We have Stephanie Carlisle Lancaster, played by Robin Gibbons, who is this to the manor born lawyer, ice queen, but she has these layers, these betrayals that kind of shaped her into the woman she is today. We have Amara Hughes, who grew up poor in Houston, went to college, became a lawyer, and has this amazing marriage to Titus, but there's flaws and there's chinks in the armor of that marriage. You have Bella Trujillo, who is a Latinx striver, grew up in the hood, and is doing everything she can on social media and with her fashion business to never have to go back to the hood. And then there's also Rondell Lancaster, who is that every woman's sister girl that we all know, that auntie that will get you told and get you right, and that's played by the brilliant Riley Evans. And yes, and the men of this show are very dynamic. We have Mayor Evan Lancaster, played by Brian White. He was on Scandal. This show has been called Scandal on Speed. So what better, TV Line gave us that, what better, lofty aspiration to reach. And we have Kendrick Cross here, who's our moral center, as Titus, who's like this dutiful husband but is also torn about his feelings about his wife and his ex. It's just that.
He invited me to his hotel.
Oh my God! Really?
I said, where can we talk privately? And he said, how about my hotel room? Oh my God. I didn't have the key, Amara. I didn't have the key.
Hey, let's scratch that. He strives to be more. But everyone's human on this show. There's a lot of humanity.
There's a whole lot of cheating going on.
Break it down.
Right. There's a lot, With you all being in the game so long, how do you go about still picking roles?
I'm feeling like Sam Jackson right
now.
No.
Inside the actors.
Really long time. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's no problem. How do you all still go about picking roles? Are you more picky now because you're seasoned?
I'll say that I try at this point I'm trying not to repeat stuff, and if it has similar qualities, I look for where it's very different, or if it's vastly different enough there, then it's attractive to me. I don't want to do the same thing over. I haven't played any characters this diverse and layered. I mean, Evans, everything he does is based out of love, but he loves people that don't get along. So he gets pulled in dynamically opposite directions, and both directions are for good reasons, but they're not always the right thing to do for the world. And I think it's exciting to be able to find material written by people like Jamie that give you something new to do when you've been doing this for 20 years. And it's, but I think, as you go forward, you just try to find stuff that excites you, that's new for you in some way, and that you're passionate about at that point in your life, at least for me.
For me, it's sort of the opposite, actually. I mean, I think I did like one thing particularly well, and then I kept getting asked to do it over and over again. And I turned down quite a few things because I said, I've already done that. And now I'm like, oh, you want me to do that? Oh, I can do that better than anybody else. So, okay, I'll do that. So for me, what was challenging about this role is I wanted to make her more than what she even was. I wanted to make her human. I wanted to give her layers. I wanted her to get out of the box if she had to kick it open. So I wanted to give this particular woman some vulnerability and a sense of humor. So that became quite challenging for me, and I embraced that, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think I'm interested in characters who are multidimensional, just like they were talking about. You know, it's like there's always these kind of buzzwords that are around a character where you think, you know, she's the super bitch, or she's the hero, or she's the moral compass, or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that every human is an array of many, many things. And so you find where you dial in certain levels and you kind of ramp up certain aspects of a character and tune other things down. And that changes. That changes throughout the season. That changes sometimes, hopefully, throughout the scene. You can really have like a kind of mini arch within the scene itself, where you start off as kind of seeing a character in one sense of being, and then they evolve to the other side of that. And that's the great thing about the writing on this show, is that there's so many moments where you really see a character change, where you really see them learn new information and have an incredible effect on their trajectory. And it's always extreme, and it's always delicious, and I think you guys are gonna love it.